Hey everybody, I'm Cherish.
And I'm Joy.
And we're
Tusicles Musicals.
There's so many Easter eggs that we will share at the end of the video. Just looking like in the video. But that's not what this video is about. As you know from the title, we saw Death of a Salesman.
It's in my handy dandy program pocket.
Do you have the merch near you?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great.
From Alamo Magic and Broadway Broads collab.
Yay!
It keeps your playbook nice and safe. I love it.
And then if you have a 2-show day, Joe, what do you do?
Huh?
If you have a 2-show day, what do you do?
If it's 2.
Yeah, they go right in there in the back.
Mm-hmm. That's why the cardboard's there.
Mm-hmm. I just kind of feel a little smug sometimes. I'm sitting in the theater and I have my program pocket and I'm just like, Joy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you don't have one? Because people be looking sometimes. Remember we did some mom, what were we at? Oh, we were at the kite runner. See my kite runner shirt. At the kite runner and mom forgot her program pocket. And we were like, well.
She remembered this time.
Okay, now I feel bad because mom actually watches our videos and she gonna be like, stop making fun of your mother. Okay, but let's be serious now. So we saw Death of a Salesman. Don't you just love this playbill?
I love an orange, yellow playbill.
Oh, I just, once again, thank you, Broadway, for coming back and doing right by the playbills and giving us color and things like that. But yeah, okay, so I don't know about you, but I didn't know anything about Death of a Salesman.
Mm-mm.
I know a little bit about Death of a Salesman because one time in college when I took a playwriting class and our professor, there was like, I think maybe the college had did it at some point, like whatever, had done it at some point, and it was like a recording of it, and he was like, you should watch Death of a Salesman. Now, I can't remember why exactly he was like, we should watch it, and why he had the link for us. But I remember hitting the link and being like, meh, and then not following through. Which I feel a little bit bad about now. But I never even heading to the show, I didn't even look up what the show was about. I think once I got to the theater and I looked in the playbill and I started reading, there's a little article by the Sons, Biff and Happy, a little bit, and it kind of gives a little bit about the show, and I was like, oh, okay, well, let's see what we're going to get into. But yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it either. I know, I've heard of it a lot. I knew it was a play. I knew it was an old play. When people talk about plays, they bring it up. If in movies and stuff in a certain time period, Death of a Salesman is brought up. So I didn't know anything about it. So I was surprised when we actually started watching it, and I was just like, oh, I have no idea where this is going.
We gotta go see some comedic plays soon because we've been watching, the dramatic plays, and it's a bit of a downer.
Go from the kite runner to this.
Yeah. Not me about to be like, well, at least someone died in this one.
Death of a Salesman.
But yeah, so main thing we were really happy to see was Sharon D. Clark coming back to Broadway after we saw her in Caroline last fall. I'm like a fangirl of her now. I just love her. I just love that she's English too. That actually blows my mind. And yeah, and then Wendell Pierce, he's just someone we've seen on TV I feel all our lives. So I'm like, oh, he's an actual real person. And he doesn't live in Hollywood land and blah blah blah. And in real life, I think he's a really nice guy too, and he gives back a lot to the community. I think he's from New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did a lot of rebuilding and stuff after Hurricane Katrina. So obviously claps for him. And then obviously, I knew Under the Shields was gonna be in the show, and so I was like, okay, yeah, let's go see it. That's pretty much all it took for us to go to the show. But do you want to talk about what the show's about?
Okay, so the show's about, what is his name in the show?
It's the Loman family.
The Loman family.
Willie Loman. Willie.
Willie. So it's about this black family. Normally, Death of a Salesman is take place in the 40s. It's normally white families, but they remixed it, and it's about a black family in the 40s, which I'll get into that later more. But so it's about this salesman. He works on commission, and he goes traveling a lot, and it's just about his kind of unraveling as the older he gets, and the pressures of like working and providing for his family, and he kind of has like a strange relationship with his oldest son, and and it's just a lot of pressure on him, and so he's hiding this secret, to kind of help them financially, and so it's just it's a story about like
it's kind of like a classic like American Dream,
like that's
like show, and how different people go about like grasping it, like holding on to it. It's really interesting, like when you look at it through the lens of like a Black American family, and it's like obviously the American Dream was very different will be very different for like a Black family in the 40s. So they're thinking more in line about being on equal footing with everyone else versus like
getting ahead.
Necessarily, like not saying like some didn't, not saying they weren't like wealthy, Black, people, in the 40s or whatnot. But it's really interesting. I was also really interested in the fact that it was set like in the Northeast. They live in Brooklyn, which was like whoop whoop because we're from Brooklyn, but our family was not in Brooklyn in the 40s. We were there about 2 decades later. So I'm sure a lot had like changed, but I don't see, a lot of things are colorblind, I would say. Like a lot of stories don't have to, is not necessarily like the standard does not have to be like a white family for like a lot of plays. But sometimes I feel like, yes, they never mentioned them being like African American, which is like fine. But like some of the dialogue,
it's very clear that the source material is white and it was painted brown. Painted black. It was one mention in the show where he was saying when he was in Massachusetts with the white lady, he was like, we kind of can't go out together because there might be laws against it. And that was the only time it felt like they alluded to the fact that they were Black people. And because their neighbors were white, and I'm like, in Brooklyn? In the 40s?
They were like very friendly.
Yeah,
and it's like,
in Brooklyn in the 40s, and I don't know if anyone knows, but the Northeast is very segregated too. It wasn't just the South. Sure,
I would say it was even more segregated.
Yeah, sure, you might have ran into people more on the trains, walking around. That is a little bit different, but like as far as where you lived, it's very much segregated. It still is. So, that was the only like criticism I had, was that it very much just felt like it was still a white family. They just put Black people in the role.
Yeah, I thought the play was a little slow at first, and I don't know. I think it had to do, believe it or not, with Wendell. I thought maybe he was having a hard time with his lines at first, but then as the show like went on, like he got like more like into it, and I was able to like get into it more and like enjoy like the story and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would say though, because you say mention Wendell, I put him as a standout performance because he talks so much
the whole time.
And I mean, and it's not just like a back and forth kind of conversation. He has a very like Willie's character is very like Jeremy Bearimy. He talks like that.
He was reminding me of Don Quixote.
Yes. It was right away. The minute he opened his mouth, I was like, this man is mentally not well, and he kind of talked in circles. He had a lot of breaks, and his dialogue was very dissociative, and you know, it was like, so I put him as a standout because I'm just like, wow, he had a lot
You know
to
what?
say.
Not me about the right with the stylist. I'm gonna put that because you're right. He did. It's hard to carry a show like that, which is what he does.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a great cast, you know, to help him out. But like, yeah, he's never not talking.
Yeah.
Really.
So
Wendell Pierce.
that was my standout performance of the show. What was yours?
The funny thing is, I put Andre the Shields.
Why?
Why? Oh, because he's so ethereal. I don't even know why.
He does not seem real.
Like he doesn't, and it's like his role in the show is of like the older brother of Willie, and when we see him, it's in flashbacks, and so sometimes you're like, is this really a flashback, or like is this like
what he wants to think that happened?
Yeah, and I think it was a bit of both at times.
Yeah, definitely. His mind was very patchy.
And I just he moves so like slowly, but he always gets to where he's going. I will say I really loved, which I was not expecting, was them using the audience, like not using the audience, like coming into the audience. I never seen that in the play before, because usually plays are like in their boxes, like, you know, on the stage, and they were like, we need to see more plays, but I was like very surprised. Well, you know what? Well, that's a little different. That's an amphitheater. I was like, when we saw, what's the one Kyrie was in at Shakespeare in the Park with Danielle Brooks?
Much Ado
About Nothing. Danielle does come out in the audience and stuff like that, and actually interacts with the audience.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, I put Andre the Shield. Yeah, that's what I put. And I put Sharon D. Clark.
I put Sharon as my standout moment of the show. I like the part of the show when she's upset with the sons, like she's finally had it. She asked them to do one nice thing for their father, and she knows he's a frustrating guy and he's a pain. But she was like, just do this one thing, it'll make him happy. And they did not do the one thing that they said they were going to do, and she just completely lost it on them. And I just think, you know, Sharon's a good actress. She did Carolina Change, so we know she can be dramatic, but it's also very interesting for her, because she's English, to keep that level of anger within an American accent. So, and in a different accent than her Carolina accent, because Caroline's Southern, and you know, she was living in the Northeast. So I thought that was like, I put that as my standout moment, because you could tell she was crying, because she had to like wipe her tears away, and I was just like, oh man, that's so sad. She does like the sad wipes away, and I'm just like, and I just wanted to be like, girl, like, break away, you know, like, do you have sisters you can stay with, you know, like, go somewhere else. I'm just like, and you have to think, it's the 40s, like, she doesn't probably have her own bank account, she doesn't have a job, she just, I needed her to have something else.
She kind of like, when you think about it, hit the jackpot. She had 2 sons, 2 capable sons. She should be set, you know what I mean? Like, but she is not, because of who her sons are. It's also, she also, like, in a lot of dialogue with her sons are a little funny too, like when she's like Bali and
She told them about themselves. Yeah. So that was mine. And also my special memories, I just said seeing Andre for the second time, because wow, he's, you know,
he's no spring chicken.
He's no spring chicken. You don't know when Andre's
He's
coming
not a
back
winter
to work.
rooster. What do you call a guy? A winter rooster?
Okay. No, I don't know. So, you know, you don't know when he's coming back to Broadway, but it's nice to see him again. And we thought his costume looked very much a lot like
Hermes.
The suit.
Yeah.
And the color. And I was like, interesting. Anyway.
I put special memories. I put Andre the Shields walking by us.
Yeah, he did walk by us. That was nice.
We had the whole entire row to ourselves. Like, not even joking. Like, we had a whole row to ourselves. And we just happened to be in a section where, like, they come down and, like, walk by. And he walked right by us. I was like, yay.
Yeah. So you want to talk about the set?
Oh, yeah. So the set was very interesting. It was kind of like a deconstructed home. And like the windows and stuff were all hanging,
set
and
was
they
giving-
fly up and
the
down.
set was giving black box.
It was. They had this like really nice like moving door.
Frame.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I meant. A door frame, which was like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Right?
the set was raised and suspended. Like, the windows would come down, the table would come down, like, the door, like, moved with them.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it's very creepy in a way. I didn't expect the show to be so creepy. It was kind of creepy.
It was a little unsettling.
Especially when you go into Willie's flashback, they use, like, a lot of, like...
Oh, for me, it's the
like,
the camera
sound,
like flash,
yeah,
like and sound, the capture.
Yeah.
Like I was like, yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very
Yeah.
haunting. If anyone is familiar with the show, will you let us know if there's this amount of singing? There was quite a bit of singing. There's like a scene in like a club. Obviously, they have like a woman singing, which was really nice. And,
But it opened up singing.
oh yeah, it opens up with this like man like coming down the aisle with his guitar.
Sharon was singing, the sons were singing, everyone was singing.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know, like...
Yeah, we weren't expecting singing.
Yeah.
Is that normal? I don't know. And then, yeah, I think that was basically it.
Yeah. We got rush tickets and we had great seats.
But yeah,
I think the far left of us was obscured,
we'll be a bit
but
partial.
I don't think we missed anything. Our mom's seat was far right, orchestra, and I don't think...
Well, she was on the aisle.
On the aisle, oh, she could see. I suppose we could have moved over.
Yeah, but I didn't want to like break up. Those people probably were like, "Ooh, we got this nice like open view."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "It was fine," and I could see everything perfectly fine, so it was cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the leg room is great at the Hudson Theater.
Oh my god, the Hudson Theater is a new theater for us. It's a little bit weird coming in, but it kind of reminds me of like Studio 54 downstairs a little bit.
It reminds me of the American Airlines Theater,
Oh,
which I do not care for.
that's a strange theater.
I think because the theater is like inside, like it's in between like blocks. I think the American Airlines, you could tell it's inside, like the 2 blocks. So it's in. But yeah,
It was nice. It had great leg room.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome. I was comfy, and this was not a short play. Excuse me.
The runtime is over 3 hours.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It really was. And it started late.
Mm-hmm.
Lord have mercy.
Mm-hmm.
And then after during intermission, they were like, "Yeah, we should be getting out of here by," and they give you a time. And I was like, "You know what? Your show was too long." When they're like, "Yeah, so when we start, we should be getting out of here by this time." Like, what is going on? But yeah. It was kind of like the movies in the show. I don't know if it's because they know the play is so long, they don't want people sugar tanking and like people like passing out in the audience or whatnot. But they had popcorn. They had all sorts of like crunchy, like goodness snacks, frosés all over the place. And it was like very like stadium like.
It was giving brunch.
It was
a
little
giving boozy brunch.
It was a little, and Joy and I sat in the hacking section.
We gotta reinstate masks back because people are not only coming to the theater unmasked, which is their choice, obviously, but they're coming sick. So if you're gonna,
that's not nice.
Yeah. So if you're gonna come sick, at least put a mask on. They're coming unmasked and sick. Like the coughs that we heard were like not like, oh, I just got a bit of like whatever's in the air in my throat. Like this is like I'm sick. Like,
and the lady behind us, so she was slick because you could just hear her like unraveling cough drops. Man, you can't cough drop away COVID
or any illness. Cough drops are just meant to soothe your throat, not like cure it.
And she was like dying, like it was like man.
Like because if you took people's X-rays, you would have saw pneumonia. You would have saw a lot of stuff. Like, I was like, what is going on? It was like, Church and I, like, we might drop dead this week because it was all around us. Like,
I just don't know. It asked if I repeat a 10, then I put no.
No, I'm good.
I'm good. I enjoyed what I saw. I don't need to see it again.
Precisely.
I'm trying to think if someone gave me tickets, would I go back?
No.
Yeah, right.
I'd be like, give it to someone who hasn't seen it.
That's how I feel. Okay, but we did get merch. salty.
We
No,
got
I want to sing Caroline.
Death of a Salesman t-shirt. They have nice merch for a play.
They do. They have.
Oh,
they had
I forgot the window card though.
The crew neck. I'll get it.
Mm-hmm. So we got this t-shirt, which is nice. I like the color. I like the yellow. And we also got...
1 second, Joy. Okay.
Yeah. So, and we also got this magnet. Gorgeous magnet. Gorgeous, gorgeous yellow. And it came with this, I think.
What's that?
It's a pen by Arthur Miller. I guess if you spend enough, they give it to you. It says, "I could not imagine a theater worth my time that did not want to change the world." Oh, that's lovely, Arthur.
Arthur. That's some tiny font.
It's very tiny. I didn't know we had this.
They want it to be a secret.
Yeah. And then we got the window card.
It's pink. I'm joking.
Mm-hmm. It looks like the playbill. This is very nice. Nice, lovely yellow. Yeah.
So I just got the press. I'm looking like our frame that needs like framing. I'm just like every weekend Joy and I make plans to go to the frame store and then don't go. So
yeah.
It's really bad. We gotta go. Yeah. So I'm interested about Easter eggs. Do you guys want to know? Okay, I'll show you one Easter egg. This is a 6 mug. Excuse me. Joy's wearing a 6 shirt. Behind us are our 6 jackets. I don't know, Joy, where are we going?
One might say to the palace.
Dun, dun. Oh my God. I'm so glad we did this. So if you don't know, the Brooks Atkinson Theater, where 6 is currently running, is being renamed to the Lena Horne Theater on the morrow.
Yay.
And we weren't going to go. But then Joy and I decided if anyone should go, it should be us. Like, we need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going. Yay. I got us really good tickets. I think we're in like row B. Yeah, I think it's like, so 3rd row, orchestra right, on the aisle. We should be lined up with Parr, or like in between Parr and Kay Howard, if I remember correctly. We sat in that section before, but a little further right. But this should be a lot better. I think it's Sam, because I think we in those seats where like the boy had his mask on. And Samantha, who's Kay Howard, Samantha Park, who's Kay Howard, was like, put your mask on. Like at him. So I was like, yeah, they'll be able to see us. I'm very excited. One, because we'll get to see the new queens.
There's quite a few.
Yeah. Well, we got 3 new queens. We'll get to see them. We'll also get to, there's gonna be like a block party and a DJ. Now, I don't know what time that would be, but Joy and I have jobs, so, it might be over by the time we get there, but, yeah, we'll be there for the show. Last night, we were patching up our jackets, because we were like, wait, there might be, like, press, and then we were like, our jackets kind of, like, attract attention, and we were like, if we get attention, like say of like a camera, look at my, I'm talking like this, I'm really excited, or like a camera, then like I don't want my jacket to look like busted. So last night we redid the crown on the front of our jackets, because we used to like, it's not important anyway.
We can do a different video on
but that's another story, never mind. Okay,
but anyway,
yeah, so I'm really excited. Maybe we could try to vlog as much as we can. I'll do our best. I'm sure the atmosphere is going to feel like really exciting. So Bree Jackson, who is the new Arrogant, who we saw as the church lady in the Color Purple revival. It's a really good singer, by the way. We were like, I kind of went from like one Color Purple member to another. Anywho, but they are part of the same production.
Yeah,
right? Aww. she went live on Instagram, and then I had asked her, how does she feel about, like the theater, being renamed the Lena Horne, and she was like very excited. As like a black woman, like Lena Horne was like our Glinda. If you ever watched The Wiz, and like just like all she's like done for theater and like representation and just like, I mean, there's not a single Broadway theater that's named after a black woman. So I mean, we just got, well, we had August Wilson, but I mean the James L. Jones right now, and then so there's two, but then now we'll have Lena Horne, and so that's very exciting.
And one day we shall have the Audrey McDonald theater.
Oh, I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. I'm surprised. Is there not one in Fresno? Like,
I don't know.
Because doesn't Kristen have one?
In Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
her and Kelly, right?
I don't know if Kelly maybe Kelly has a wing in like a school or something, but Kristen has a theater. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I was very excited. I'm happy to be there. It's like history making, and I don't know. We will see you guys then. If you have the chance, go see Death of a Salesman. They are giving some performances, okay? And also, I don't know what I was going to say, but
bye.
Bye.